It's a beautiful day for Pokemon Unite, ladies and gentlemen. Spectating, one of the top-ranked players right here using Gengar. It was actually extremely hard to find a Gengar match by a top-ranked player. This did surprise me a little bit. And so as we record this in early October, awaiting that ready go here to start off our match in Pokemon Unite, we do just want to, of course, mention that when the mobile version, I guess, for Pokemon Unite came out, there was kind of a major patch. It definitely caused a shake-up for many characters. It really just fixed some bugs, though, for Gengar. Right now, obviously, as a Ghastly player, sharing the lane with the Swinub right here, and of course, on the bottom, we have our Eldegoss player with Snorlax for the purple squad, gonna be jungling Greninja. The main difficulty about when your Ghastly player can't do the jungle, and they might have been willing to share the lane and everything like that, is just that Gengar really, it is critical to get those wild Pokemon, to get the wild farm and get that experience, because the evolution to Gengar really is where you're gonna get your more advanced moves, and level 5 will essentially be kind of that threshold where you can start participating maybe in those team fights. If you're, say, the jungle Gengar, let's call it, you'll obviously want to get to level 5, but then try to look out once you are for an advantage, Is there a lane that kind of will give you that 3-on-1, 3-on-2, if you join up with your fellow squad mates in the lane, that's what you're going to find. And so anyway, very close to level 5 though right now for Zen Man, TTV, our Gengar/Ghastly player right here, pulling in that Squirtle with Lick. Lick can definitely be very dangerous, especially for somebody who, oftentimes you've damaged them down and they might be trying to make that escape, but you just have to kind of time that Lick or get yourself at least within range to pull that off like this right here, that Squirtle, boom, pulling it in right there. And so close, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, that Score Bunny, now Raboot, actually really helped out that fight a lot, being able to stay at range while still just dealing massive damage. Very unfortunate for our Ghastly Gengar player today, and of course Frogadier right now getting caught up with an Ivysaur. Very good that Zen Man is going to help him out like a good ally should. That Ivysaur kind of holding its own right now for dealing with two devastating opponents right there. That's going to be the XP needed though to bring it up to Haunter once that Ivysaur is out. And so when you do finally start to get to that mid-game, late game, especially as Gengar, you want to try to pick off, for instance, weaker Pokemon that typically hang in the back. Maybe it's those ranged Pokemon like Gardevoir. Gosh, when I'm Gardevoir, I hate going up against a Gengar. But also just to catch those people who are kind of lone sheep. Maybe they're out trying to backdoor, or they're trying to get a goal, or just laning by themselves for whatever the reason may be. Looks like this is also going to confirm that our Haunter now, Gengar player, is going with Shadow Ball. We'll have to get a look at the full moveset a little bit later, as Charmeleon very close to falling on that orange squad right now. No real distinct score advantage right now by the squads, but that Squirtle, once again, I guess Wartortle now we should say, caught up in a dangerous situation, is going to lose its life, but Ivysaur then going to turn it around and take out both that Piloswine and our Haunter, who we are focusing on right now. And of course, should it need to be said, it probably doesn't, but just in case, please be aware, viewers at home, that we don't just 100% focus on the Gengar, as you would miss action like this. We almost saw that Snorlax here for purple, that's dab in, almost pulling off a KO. That would have been very pivotal, I would say, of course, because now we have Dreadnought on the map. You do obviously want to get that Dreadnought. We unfortunately are noticing that Zen Man is right now farming, and that can be okay. You can make a case for that because, of course, it needs to level up and become a Gengar to be really effective. Also able to block out that Rotom right there. But if you could have been helping out your squad, oftentimes that is a very good use of your time and resources, because we can see that Piloswine is now out of that. Obviously had the chance to come and help them, but is now going to go up for the Rotom, probably seeing it as a lost cause, and that really is, again, unfortunate for Purple Squad. Now Orange is going to be the victors of that battle, and this is all about positioning yourself for the later game, but also, getting that experience that you need. I think, once again, that Haunter needs to become Gengar. Well, imagine if it had gotten that Dreadnought with its squad, it could possibly be a lot closer to being Gengar, basically. So this is really going to widen that score right now, as you see Orange at 162. We were very, very close early on, but you can see just how quickly things change as that Venusaur is going to use that Unite move right at the last second. Very good, the absolute right move. Man, this Orange squad is going to be tough to deal with, it looks like, especially for our Purple Squad players. Let's just hope they can come back and not make this an absolute stomp, as that Eldegoss is now getting the absolute stomp. But there we go with Gengar up top. Now it is fully a Gengar, of course, but also getting that goal on a lone, undefended top lane, we should say. Hopefully going to help out in these team fights, although Gengar is not always the most solid. There we go. We're going to pull off the Unite move, and that would be the Phantom Ambush, ladies and gentlemen. Very good for Gengar's mobility. Of course, able to pull off that KO against the orange Venusaur, who was doing pretty well up until this point, so that's very good. Don't let it wreak any more havoc right here. And as Gengar hopefully can help turn things around for the Purple Squad right now. But yeah, that Unite move, really good good for cutting through those defenses, allowing you to take out those squishier team members very fast, but even just take on sometimes those defenders, or maybe just escape from a bad situation, you know, whatever it may be. Now gonna get that KO on Charizard, orange Charizard that is. Okay, looks like purple is coming back into this a little bit, you know, and hopefully Gengar able to contribute a lot to that, as it looks like Cinderace and Blastoise going up top for the orange squad to maybe take that Rotom once again. We're trying not to miss the action here, folks, and so we can see, of course, purple Greninja maybe looking to get that steal on it. Maybe we should observe what happens here, but no, actually hiding out in the grass, not even gonna make the attempt right there. It might have been too late, also seeing that it could have lost its life very easily, but Gengar coming in just a little bit too late, I would say, which is really unfortunate, of course. And that Piloswine also kind of needs to put on the skates right now to evolve to Mamoswine. Orange squad right now is making a lot of these plays, as finally right there, pretty crucial not to fall again while the Rotom is in lane. Taking out that Cinderace from the top, also maybe looking to take out the Blastoise. Greninja at least going after it, and Gengar able to with the Dream Eater, ladies and gentlemen. So that is going to be the other attack, pairing Shadow Ball with Dream Eater. And so it looks like they are going to bust through that top goal. That might have been a situation, of course, where Gengar should have been the one to get that goal. You know, if you were the Greninja player, especially, you had time to wait. Gengar just had 7 more points, so it's not something massive, but still, if I'm ever in that situation, and maybe this is good for anybody watching who needs to know, if you're just there with another squad mate all by yourself, no enemy opponents staring you down, definitely let the person who has a higher point value actually break that goal. And so Gengar getting caught up there with the Cinderace, but we don't want to miss what's also going on bottom lane. We're trying to just sort of observe both of these. Gonna Dream Eater that and Shadow Ball. Perfect. So we're seeing that this Gengar now turning around a lot of those fights, so that's very good. Kind of fun to see too, you know, when it looks like you're down and out, and then nope, completely 180 that. And so as far as items go, you know, I'm not extremely familiar with Gengar. I don't really play Gengar or characters like it, but I can imagine Wise Glasses, Choice Specs, Special Attack Specs, one of those that's just going to increase its stats and damage overall. If you were playing maybe that aggressive Gengar jungler, you might actually go Fluffy Tail instead of the eject button. I typically think eject button has a little bit more use, as this Venusaur now pedal dancing and Giga Draining, making mincemeat of some of these purples with that Cinderace, and of course Snorlax is out for the purple squad. Gengar once again at 50 points. It looks like they are signaling, I would imagine that somebody's signaling for it. I think that would be the Greninja, since we are focused on it right now, but trying to say like, hey, let's make something happen here. We're in trouble. And so this is that stage of the match where we're getting very close to the late game. You do want to position yourself for that Zapdos, but sometimes it might be a good idea to not be holding on to these, you know, 50 points like this Gengar is, and try to actually score those, because hopefully you farmed all the way up until then, but also you might defeat opponents who have 50, 40, something like that, and actually be able to pick up the fallen points, but also get those points from the Zapdos as well. Looks like this Blastoise on orange pushing everybody back with the help of that Charizard, Venusaur. They are able to get that KO right there. Snorlax is going to block. Eldegoss joining in the fray for purple right now. It looks like they are going to take out that Blastoise, who knows is going to turn this around maybe with that Unite move. The Hydro Typhoon does, ladies and gentlemen, at least buys it a lot of time and is going to turn this team fight around. Gengar trying to pick off that Venusaur. It's a bit of a tall order right now. Maybe had the right thought, but it's just looking like purple does need help right now. I mean, that was an interesting time to teleport back. I don't think Gengar was severely, you know, low on HP, but was able with a super jump to position itself this time in front, maybe defend that goal a little bit, trying to get that Shadow Ball off, seeing what it can do for this. Oh gosh, now the Charizard going to be pulling off that Seismic Slam. So yeah, this will confirm for us, of course. It did go eject button, but like we said, the Shadow Ball and Dream Eater combo. Zapdos is on the field, ladies and gents. The question is, can purple get it? I think they're going to need a push like that, or just 2 big scores right now to really bring them over. It certainly is still attainable, you know. There is not one team that's in particular just going to win this, but orange definitely kind of stacking a lot of these fights in its favor, getting that Dreadnought, getting the Rotom, and so now this Gengar, you know, we have to wonder, actually getting chased down by Venusaur. I was going to say we have to wonder if it's going to go try to score, which this would be disrupting that, and let's see as it pulls off that Phantom Ambush. Can it maybe change things? Although now being joined by Snorlax, probably not sure what it's supposed to do right now. It'll be interesting to see how this ends up. We're going to actually try to take down that Venusaur, but no, that's going to activate Pedal Dance once again at that last little bit of health. That Venusaur going to outlast it, and so I do want to apologize to the viewers at home. I mean, it was extremely hard to find a Gengar match, but this one does really look to be in favor of the opposition rather than the Gengar's team. I was kind of hoping maybe we would see a Gengar that just unloads and is able to turn things around, as now the right team also is going to get that Zapdos. So this is really not looking good if you're purple, especially with only 20 seconds left. They're going to go ahead. Snorlax is going to try to pull off a block, and looks like orange Snorlax also going to pull off a block, which will let it actually go through the block, you know. So if you have Snorlax on Snorlax, you can block the block, and just move right on through and, of course, score if that Zapdos is making that goal undefended. So a defenseless goal you can score on immediately just by ending off that block. And yeah, that's just going to be a devastating blow to the purple squad right here. And so we will, of course, try to get out some other matches for Pokemon like this who are really hard to spectate because none of the top-ranked players are picking them. But it was highly requested by you that we see a Gengar. Got a little bit more in the pipeline like Sylveon, but also top-ranked Machamp. Hope everybody's ready for that. In the meantime, click an in screen on screen if you have annotations on to see another one. And thanks for viewing.